Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be focusing on three pretty amazing areas in AI.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
MIT's NeuroLink Project,
Hmm.
the DisasterEye platform, and PyTorch 2.1.
Yeah, some big developments going on.
Let's jump right in. First up, MIT's NeuroLink Project. This is pretty wild.
Yeah.
They've developed this neural network that can learn from such small amounts of data. It's almost as efficient as the human brain.
Yeah, the way it works is they're really focusing on mimicking the way the human brain is constantly adapting,
Oh,
rewiring itself based on what it
all
learns.
right, like plasticity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The researchers at MIT, th've managed to replicate this process with their new AI system.
So it's like the AI can build its own shortcuts,
You
right?
could say that.
Based on like very limited experience.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to picture that in my head.
It's complex. It's pretty complex.
Right.
They have a research paper out there, Data Efficient Learning with Synthetic Gradients,
Yeah.
if you want to check that out. But essentially, the AI uses these things called synthetic gradients to predict its own learning outcomes.
So it already knows what it's going to learn.
Well, it predicts it. It predicts it. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like imagine if you could just like mentally rehearse a piano song and then you already knew it,
Oh, okay.
you know. That's kind of what we're talking about.
Wow. So the AI is basically like simulating its own learning.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it does all this without mountains and mountains of data.
Yeah. Okay,
You
that
know?
makes more sense now. So it's like it's learning how to learn.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it has huge implications for things like personalized medicine. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
think about all the data that's needed for that.
And the expense.
Yeah, and this would make that so much easier. We could have AI diagnostic tools that are both cheaper and more accurate.
It's pretty amazing. And I imagine it would have a huge impact on other fields too, like robotics.
Absolutely.
Robots could learn so much faster,
With less training.
so much more adaptable,
Yeah,
versatile. I mean, this kind of data efficiency really opens up a whole new world for AI.
almost like democratizes it in a way.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. Smaller teams can get involved.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's like we're on the edge of this like whole new era of AI
Yeah.
where everyone can get involved.
Okay, well, let's move from, potentially revolutionary AI to like potentially life-saving AI.
Yeah.
You got to talk about DisasterEye.
Yeah, DisasterEye. It's coming out of a partnership between Stanford and Google.
I was reading about this.
Yeah.
It uses AI to predict and respond to like natural disasters.
Hmm. And potentially saving so many lives.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I mean, it's like they have a crystal ball, can forecast things like flood paths or wildfire spread,
Yeah.
even earthquake aftershocks.
Exactly. I mean, what if we could predict where a wildfire was going to go?
Yeah,
Evacuate people before it even spread.
that would be incredible.
Right. Or like anticipate flooding and, get resources there ahead of time. That's what DisasterEye is all about. It's, proactive, not reactive.
Yeah, so instead of just responding quicker, we're actually talking about like maybe even preventing these tragedies.
Exactly.
That's really amazing. And to be able to do that in real time,
It's
I
incredible.
mean, this could revolutionize how we deal with all sorts of emergencies.
It can. I mean, think about resource allocation,
Yeah,
targeted intervention. Like we've never
Yeah.
been able to do this before.
right.
And it's not just natural disasters either. I mean, crime prevention,
Oh, wow, yeah.
traffic management, public health, all these things.
Wow. So it's almost like AI is being used to like anticipate and fix problems
Yeah.
before they even happen.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
It's incredible the possibilities. And that's
Yeah.
just what we know about.
That's true. I mean, there's new stuff coming out all the time. Like even in mental health,
Yeah.
I saw this app.
Yeah.
It analyzes speech patterns to look for early signs of, mental health issues.
Yeah.
And then in agriculture, AI is being used to help farmers
Mm-hmm.
optimize their yield and reduce their impact on the environment.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. AI is being used in everything.
Absolutely.
But let's not forget about the tools themselves.
Right?
The stuff that's being developed. I keep hearing about this PyTorch 2.1.
Yeah.
It's the latest version of this deep learning framework.
It's a big one.
Is it a game changer?
Yeah, especially for developers working on these large-scale AI projects.
Okay.
The big thing is the enhanced support for what's called distributed training,
Okay. So
meaning they can train AI models across multiple GPUs or even like clusters of machines.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those of us who aren't like coding wizards, What is distributed training?
Yeah, so imagine you're building a giant Lego castle,
Okay.
but you're doing it all by yourself.
Oh, that would take forever.
Right. But if you had a bunch of people all working on different parts of the castle at the same time,
Oh, I get it.
it would go much faster. That's kind of like distributed training for AI. They can break these complex tasks down across a bunch of different devices.
So it speeds up the process.
A lot.
So basically, they're giving developers a turbo boost
Yeah,
for their projects.
it's huge, especially with these more sophisticated models that are being developed now, like for self-driving cars, advanced medical diagnostics, all that. It requires a lot of data, a lot of power.
Yeah.
And this makes it possible.
Okay. So this distributed training, it's really essential for, like, the next level of AI applications.
Absolutely.
Okay. This kind of ties into something else I've been hearing about. AI at the edge.
Yes.
What is that?
So that means that these computations are happening directly on devices, like your phone,
Oh, wow.
smart gadgets.
So my phone could be running its own complex AI models
Yes.
without relying on the cloud.
That's right.
That sounds like something out of a movie.
It's amazing. And think about the benefits, you know? Imagine your phone could instantly translate languages offline,
Wow.
give you real-time medical diagnoses without sending all your data to the cloud.
Yeah.
Much more private.
Wow. So AI is becoming more accessible,
Yes.
responsive, more private?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's AI at the edge.
This is incredible. But all this progress, I have to wonder about the ethical implications.
Yeah.
As AI gets more powerful,
Mm-hmm.
more common.
It's a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah.
You know, the EU Parliament, for example,
Mm-hmm.
they're discussing something called the AI Act right now. It's focused on making sure there's transparency with AI decision-making.
So it's about keeping these systems accountable.
Yes, especially as they become more autonomous, you know, especially in sensitive areas, like law enforcement or hiring.
It's interesting. We have all this amazing stuff happening, like with NeuroLink, and yet at the same time, we have to make sure it doesn't get out of control.
It's a tough balance.
Yeah. It's a lot to think about.
It is. It is a lot, and it's really important, too.
Yeah, it feels like we're at this point where we really need to, I don't know, like shape the future of AI
Mm-hmm.
before it shapes us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we were just talking about the EU
Yeah.
and their push for transparency in AI.
Yeah.
It seems like that's becoming more and more important all over the world.
It is. There's a real global movement happening right now focused on responsible AI.
Yeah. And one of the things I keep hearing about is this idea of explainable AI.
Yeah.
What is that?
So basically it means being able to understand
Okay.
how an AI system makes its decisions.
Oh, so it's like we can look under the hood,
Exactly.
see how it's all working.
Yeah, you got to be able to see the gears turning.
Yeah. Why is that so important, though?
Well, think about it for a second. Imagine an AI system that's deciding who gets a loan,
Uh-huh.
or making medical diagnoses,
Okay.
or even, deciding on parole.
Yeah, those are big decisions.
Exactly. If we don't know how those decisions are being made,
Yeah.
how can we be sure that they're fair
Right. That makes sense.
and unbiased?
Yeah, transparency is really important.
Absolutely. It builds trust.
Yeah. And if we want AI to be a positive force,
Mm-hmm.
we have to trust it.
Yeah. We can't just treat AI like this
Yeah.
mysterious black box. We have to be able to understand it.
It's like we have this tension, right?
Yeah.
On one hand, we have incredible breakthroughs like NeuroLink pushing the boundaries.
Right.
But then on the other hand, we have to make sure that all this amazing stuff
Mm-hmm.
is being used ethically.
That's the key, finding that balance.
It's like walking a tightrope.
Yeah, it is.
How do we let AI reach its full potential
Yeah.
while making sure it's a force for good?
Well, that's why we're here
Yeah.
talking about it, raising awareness,
Huh.
encouraging people to think critically.
It's all about starting those conversations.
Yeah, even if they're a little uncomfortable sometimes.
Right. And we need to give people the tools to understand AI,
Absolutely.
to question its assumptions,
Mm.
to demand transparency.
It's about empowering people.
Yeah. It's so easy to get caught up in all the cool tech stuff,
Yeah.
and just kind of forget
Yeah.
about the bigger picture.
Lose sight of it.
But at the end of the day, this is about people.
Yeah.
It's about how we can use these tools to make life better.
It is. It's about solving problems,
Yeah,
Yeah.
empowering individuals,
creating opportunity,
making the world a better place.
a more sustainable future.
Okay, but what about the challenges? I mean, like economically,
Mm-hmm.
how do we prepare for a future
Yeah.
where AI might replace some jobs?
That's a big question, and there's no easy answer.
Yeah. It's something we have to think about.
Absolute policymakers,
Yeah.
educators, industry leaders, everybody's got to be involved in this conversation.
It's not just about jobs disappearing, though, right?
Right.
AI will also create new jobs.
Absolutely. Hey, think about all the new industries that are going to pop up.
Yeah.
New career paths we haven't even thought of yet.
Like what? What kind of things?
Well, you're going to have AI development, of course,
Okay.
but also AI ethics,
Uh-huh.
AI regulation, all sorts of things.
Yeah, so we need to prepare for that,
We do. We need to adapt.
right?
Our education systems, encourage lifelong learning, help people develop the skills they're going to need.
Yeah.
And most importantly, we got to make sure the benefits of AI
Yeah.
are shared by everyone.
It's a lot to figure out.
It is a complex landscape.
Yeah. But I'm optimistic.
I am too. I think human ingenuity will find a way.
Right. We always have in the past.
We have, throughout history.
Yeah. If every time there's been a new technology, we figure it out.
We do. And I think AI, if we do it right,
Yeah.
it can be a really powerful force for good.
Yeah.
We can tackle climate change, cure diseases, create a more just and equitable world.
Yeah. It really feels like we're on the verge of something huge.
It does. We're at a turning point.
Yeah.
And the decisions we make now are going to affect us for generations to come.
That's a powerful thought. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And scary at the same time.
It's both. It's a really interesting time to be alive.
So we've talked about a lot today.
We have from the technical side of things
Yeah.
to the ethical implications.
Big picture stuff.
It's been a whirlwind.
Yeah.
But I hope our listeners have a better understanding now of just how complex AI is.
Yeah. And how much potential it has.
Absolutely, and how much it's already impacting our lives.
And we want you to keep learning.
Yes, please keep exploring AI.
Read about it.
Do your own research.
Talk about it.
Ask questions.
Yeah, because the more we understand AI,
The better.
the better equipped we'll be to shape its future.
And that's what it's all about.
So before we wrap up today,
Mm-hmm.
I want to leave you with a question.
Okay.
With everything we've talked about today, what excites you the most about the future of AI? And what concerns you the most?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It makes you think.
It does, right? AI could solve so many problems.
Yeah.
But it also raises a lot of questions about, what we value as a society.
Yeah, and the good thing is we're having these conversations now. While AI is still relatively young,
Right.
we have a chance to steer it in the right direction, make sure it aligns with our values.
Exactly. It's so important to be informed and engaged right now.
Absolutely.
We need to make sure everyone's voice is heard.
Yeah, we need all those different perspectives to make sure AI benefits everybody.
Speaking of perspectives, there's one area we haven't talked about yet, AI and creativity.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen some amazing AI-generated art and music lately. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what creativity even means anymore.
I know, right?
I mean, think about it. AI can analyze all this data,
Yeah.
find patterns, create new things based on those patterns.
Oh, yeah.
That could be a huge tool for artists, musicians, writers, anyone who's creative.
They're giving them superpowers.
Yeah, they could explore all these new ideas, push the boundaries of what's possible.
So it's not about AI replacing human creativity.
Yeah.
It's more like enhancing it,
Yeah, augmenting it, expanding the possibilities.
like having a creative partner.
Exactly, a partner who can offer a totally new perspective.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe AI will even lead to completely new art forms.
That's a good point, ones we can't even imagine yet.
The possibilities are endless.
They are. But of course, we still have to be careful,
Right.
Use AI responsibly and ethically when it comes to creativity.
Of course.
We need to make sure it respects copyright, doesn't create harmful stereotypes or anything like that.
Yeah, we have to be aware of the potential downsides.
We do. It's a learning process.
Yeah.
We have to adapt as AI evolves.
But I'm optimistic.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think we can do this, work together, harness the power of AI.
Yeah, and build a better future for everyone.
That's the goal.
Absolutely. Well, this has been an incredible conversation.
It has.
We've covered so much ground today, from the technical stuff to the ethical questions.
Yeah, we really went deep.
We did. And I hope everyone listening has a better understanding of AI.
Yeah, and just how much potential it has.
We want you to keep learning, keep exploring.
Yeah. Keep asking those questions.
Because the more we understand about AI,
Mm-hmm.
the better we'll be able to shape its future.
Exactly. And that's what's important.
So thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI. Until next time, stay curious.
And keep learning.